I did the game on Thursday night, the Boda Glimt game. I watched the sort of half an hour edit of the Everton game on Sunday when they were brilliant going forward. But one of the things I thought was really intriguing about Amorim is the fact that he's utilising the whole squad, keeping everybody involved. But no doubt their star performer under him so far has been Amad Diallo. Do you think they're capable of causing problems for Arsenal tonight?
Oh, without doubt. Oh, without doubt, they can cause problems. Sam, and you're right in your assessment. He looked as though watched the highlights. Diallo looked at different class. He's a player I've saw a lot bit of actually, because obviously he was up at Rangers on loan. He's confident. He's a good watch. He's easy on the eye. He's one of these players the fans will take to him because he's got a kind of swagger when he plays and he gets by people. So they have, and obviously Rashford's looking a bit livelier than he has been. You've got players like Fernandes in your team. You're capable of causing problems, of course you are. And I think I've got to say, a little bit like Arne Slot, I enjoy listening to Ruben Amorim. I really do. Sam, I think he's a good listener. He's clearly knowledgeable. His team at Sporting were excellent, and I think given time, which he should be given and will be given, I'm looking forward to seeing the changes he makes in his squad and the way his team go about it. Yes, they've got enough to give Arsenal problems, but I would be surprised if they beat Arsenal tonight.
Interesting you mentioned about the time stuff, because he was talking about this yesterday in his press conference. Mikel Arteta being given sort of the first 2 seasons to bed himself in. They stuck with him, implement his style, get his team in the dressing room, get players out that he wanted to get in. He was asked yesterday whether he thinks he'll be afforded the same sort of luxury at Manchester United.
That is also always important for a coach to have that confidence, but we have to acknowledge that Manchester United is a little bit different. All the attention that you guys putting here all the time. So I know that that sometimes is not possible to have all that time. So we will try to manage that and try to do things a little bit more fast, knowing that here is a massive attention and massive judgment every day.
It was fascinating actually, because I understand that he was completely blown away by the amount of scrutiny that he has to undergo, especially post-match. You can't believe how many interviews he has to do. Just not used to that. But I know he's also, by the way, so we better be careful here, he is a huge talkSPORT listener. He loves talkSPORT. Radio culture massive in Portugal, but he loves listening to the program, and I think he's learning from you how to improve his diction and his articulacy.
Listen, Sam, if he understands me, that's an achievement. Never mind anything else, right? But no, that's good to know. But do you know something? It's one of these things. Well, listen, I did it myself as a player and as a manager and a coach. Of course, you listen. And then that it says you don't read newspapers and watch television, I think they're telling you a fib. The important thing is you need to take it for what it is, and that's our opinions and fans' opinions. But players and managers and coaches are like, of course they read it and listen to it. That's natural. I would argue you're not doing your job if you don't. But as I said, I've been very impressed. I have been very impressed. But looking at you,
do you think he's right though? Do you think they get treated differently? Do you think there's more scrutiny on them than there was on Arsenal, for example, when Arteta was first in charge?
Yeah. Manchester United and Real Madrid, I think, are the 2 biggest clubs in world football. So I think there's, and again, it's only a personal opinion, but I think there's naturally more scrutiny on the bigger clubs.
And do they need to give him the time that he requires to get his feet under the table? They've got to make sure that they invest in him now, because he says you wouldn't have got that time at the same time as Arteta. Well, maybe he should, and maybe they need to take a leaf out of Arsenal's book and give him the control that he needs in order to establish his team as contenders again.
He absolutely needs time. You can argue some of the other guys didn't get time, whether it was Davy Moyes and going all the way back. Make no mistake about it, Manchester United, pardon me, Sam, have had some excellent managers and coaches since Fergie left. But for whatever reason, they haven't got it right consistently. I mean, we all laughed when Jose Mourinho said that, getting Manchester United to win that Europa League and finishing second, when he said that was one of his greatest achievements. We all laughed, right? And we did. But when you look at it, it was some achievement. It was some achievement. Whether it was his greatest or not is up for debate, but it was certainly a great achievement. So I think they have to now reach the stage, because the competition now is arguably fiercer than it's ever been in terms of winning the top flight and winning major tournaments, winning cups and Champions Leagues. So they have, like everybody else, no divine right at all to automatic success. So there's been a move and a change at the top. There's been a move and a change in the coach and the manager. And I think it's only fair that they are given a degree of time to get that right. And clearly that would mean a few windows to bring his own personnel in. Because initially what happens, you know what it's like, Sam, a manager will come in and you'll get a turn straight away, and you'll get a change in fortunes, you'll get a change in attitude of some of the players, but that only lasts so long.
Interesting, though. You talk about getting the time and the ability to bring in players via windows. The truth is that financially, I'm not sure how much is going to be available. They've had such a splurge on players over the last few years. Their losses over a 3-year period are a cause for concern.
Yes.
That's why they've started to put up prices in different areas. It's why they've had to lay off staff. They're panicking about the fact that they're not going to reach the PSR targets. It's something, actually, that may well impact him. He's going to have to work, I think, with a lot of the squad that he's got. He might get to add 1 or 2, but I think he's going to have to work with a lot of the squad.
Well, he's got a problem
already got.
Sam, he's got a problem because the squad aren't, in my opinion, aren't good enough to win the league. And you'd have to say, I'm not even sure that. Well, I'm fairly confident they're not good enough to get top 4. So
interesting to see what happens tonight.
I don't think so. So in that respect, I think he's got a problem.
Yeah. On to Arsenal. Small blip for them. They're back on track now, though, winning their last 3 games convincingly. And in-form winger Bukayo Saka is scored in all 3 of those. Yesterday, his manager, Mikel Arteta, spoke on the continued improvement of the young English star.
Yeah, in terms of the numbers, yes, but we always see a shift on Bukayo every single year. He's providing something else. He's adding things to his game. He's more and more consistent. And as you mentioned now, obviously, his number in terms of impact in goals and assists is incredible at this stage of the season. He can only improve, he can only get better. He's got the right players around him as well to continue to do so, and especially because he wants more.
Yes, 10 assists already in the Premier League this season.
Brilliant.
One in the Champions League. Might be the best we've ever seen of Bukayo Saka, but he's always pushing the needle. 03717223344. Let's take a quick call. Tom's an Arsenal fan, very confident ahead of the game tonight. Morning, Tom.
Morning, Tom.
How you doing, boys? You okay?
Excellent.
Yeah, we're good, thank you. What do you want to say?
Just wanted to say, obviously, going into tonight's game, Amorim's come in, but I can't really see how he's going to turn it around so quick.
What do you think, Tom? Were you surprised? Because I was surprised. I knew that Arsenal would miss Odegaard, but I was surprised at just how much I thought you missed him. And clearly stating the very much the obvious, what a breath of fresh air to have him back in the team.
Oh, certainly, Ali. I mean, to be honest, I thought missing Odegaard we would, but obviously going into the games and seeing how much we lacked, it looked, I don't really want to say it, but it looked like Arsenal of old, where we had all the ball, had no ideas up top. But now Saka and Odegaard are obviously back on team. It looks like we've got a good thing going on again.
Just to talk to me about Bukayo Saka. We've been waxing lyrical about his performances recently. Is this the best you've seen of him? And can you see a scenario where he keeps improving, keeps taking those numbers even higher? How high is his ceiling?
I don't think there is a ceiling point for Bukayo. I think, in all honesty, he could be one of the best in the world. Obviously, you guys talking about the Ballon d'Or earlier on. I think that's a little while away. But obviously, I think to get that, you need to win trophies. And we need to do that to make sure he can achieve that, really.
Okay, good luck. Cheers.
Thanks a lot, Tom.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that, Tom. Tom, big Arsenal fan. Big game tonight, Arsenal against Manchester United. We'll keep you in touch with it all on Kick-Off with Adrian Durham from 7 o'clock tonight.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.